2, 1, let's record a podcast. My name is Jake.
I am Alex.
I'm Jonah.
I'm Joel.
Welcome, Joel.
Welcome, Joel.
Joel's here.
Joel's here. This is Uncut Games, the Replay Cafe. Now kind of a scattershot with a schedule, Talkcore podcast. We got our machine working today. Thank you to Nico, former guest Nico Masamakis.
Friend of the podcast.
Friend to computers, and audio interfaces everywhere. We've had a lot of problems recently, and today we're very happy to sit down and talk to Joel. Joel, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Joel Graves. I am a current student at Lawrence Technological University. I am the assistant esports manager at State Champs Esports. I am also the student assistant for the collegiate team for LTU, which is now starting their first year. We're going to be starting in the fall.
Congratulations.
What else? I am the president of LTU Esports, the student organization. I am president of the Zeta Omicron chapter of Sigma Pi at Lawrence Tech, and like probably a million other things. So I'm a very, very busy person.
So you said you're technically awake before we started recording.
Yeah.
Is that why? Because you have 11 titles?
I mean, every time I ever introduce myself or think of my titles, if you ever think back to, like Game of Thrones, I don't, spoilers, but
if you haven't seen Game of Thrones by now, don't watch it. Also, it's your fault for having it spoiled.
I liked it. It was good to me. Like
The whole thing?
the whole thing
The
until
whole
the
That's
last
a
season.
hot take. Well, okay. Until
Until the last
That's what I've
season.
heard.
So it's just like whenever I introduce or think of like how many responsibilities and roles, it's just like when Robert Baratheon was dying and he was talking to Ned Stark. It's just like, all right, write this down. I'm Robert Baratheon. Titles. House of this. Blah 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 blah. Titles. And it's just like I have all these responsibilities, and I
Thanks
think
for
it's pretty
reminding me
funny.
like the Game of Thrones used to be funny and good at the same time. A dying man took all the time to say all his names. So you're equating yourself to a man who's been gored by a bull or by a pig.
Yeah, it's pretty
Every day.
great.
What of all these titles? How do I put this? What is like your real title? Because like there's no way you can do all of it.
Assistant Esports Manager at State Champs.
Nice.
How long have you been doing that for?
It was 2 years back in March.
Okay.
Feels so much longer. It feels like it's been 3 years, but
So
2 years.
you're esports manager of the team or esports manager of like the program, right?
So at State Champs, so it's a little weird to describe it. So State Champs is a production company that covers pretty much all high school sports. And this includes traditional sports like football, basketball, baseball, all across Michigan and even like the Great Lakes. And then a few years before I started working there, they started branching out to esports. And then I came in, I think what was the third annual League of Legends, which we do every spring. And I have a later story to tell about that because Riot's pretty much like screwed out every grassroots organization running league tournaments. But anyways, there's that. And we're partnered with Lawrence Technological University. So we cover most of their media stuff. So coverage of their, I think the LTU Sports Report. And then if you've seen the Lawrence Tech Esports Instagram, I think Twitter and possibly Facebook as well, you've seen, whenever we sign a new player to the varsity esports team, we do the graphics and such for that as well. So separate company, like not the same as Lawrence Tech, but like I said, we are in a partnership with Lawrence Tech, so we do a lot of things for them.
Real quick question. You said when you, I wouldn't say sign new players, but find new players, do all that. Are you familiar with Keyboard Jesus?
No, it's Joy-Con Jesus.
Joy-Con, yes.
Jesus.
So his name is Charlie? I'm sorry.
I don't even want to think of him in those terms.
So,
What
yeah.
do you know about Joy-Con Jesus?
Yeah, I was there when we were first shot him in the small esports room that we have on campus, and I personally I live and breathe League, so I think I've played Smash like once or twice in my life.
That's interesting thing. You can tell me about your childhood in a little bit.
Yeah.
How'd you get through without more Smash?
Yeah, so I didn't really hang with that crowd. before I became the president of LTU Esports, I did go to a few Smash tournaments just to see how they were back when, in-person stuff was still like popping and everything. But
what's popping now?
I mean, it's getting back there. It's fun. I mean, I'm excited for the fall, especially at LTU, because we're getting back to a more in-person model. But yeah, I've met him a few times. I've talked to him a few times, and our dean of students thinks that his like Joy-Con Jesus thing is pretty funny. I think it's pretty cool too. So
Is he as good as advertised?
well, you see, I don't play Smash.
Okay.
I don't know anything
Okay,
about
fair
Smash, but
enough.
I hear he's pretty good.
Has anyone reached out to him for our thing?
We should. Joy-Con Jesus, if you are listening, we are hosting.
If you're listening,
Or-
you've missed it.
Joel, if you're listening,
Yep, I might be listening.
you might give me his contact info after the pod.
But go ahead and lead us to, I guess, your history in gaming, but how you get to the point where you are pursuing it as a career, academically, and all this stuff. Like,
All right, let's go. It's time to get to the childhood thing now.
Get out your clipboard.
So
Some
I don't know. I was just
therapy.
one of those classic teenagers who like. I always find myself. I never play multiple games at once. So as you can probably guess, I played Call of Duty as a kid. Like that. That was
Which
just
one did
it.
you start with?
Modern Warfare 3.
oh my God, what a terrible time in gaming.
I was
It
gonna
was
say,
okay.
And you kept going?
it was not
It wasn't
okay.
great,
Well,
but
you know,
it
an
was.
impressionable teenager. I'm just like, oh, this is cool. I get to shoot people and whatever. I used to come home and play. I used to play it like a full-time job. I come home, play it 8 hours, go to sleep, go to school, come home, play it 8 hours,
Holy
go to
shit.
bed.
It had the most
I-
content at launch. Just want to say that for Modern Warfare 3.
I never
I
skipped
was a
school
kid.
to play
I was
Modern
a
Warfare
teenager.
3.
I didn't care. Like I'm just coming home to play with friends, and then Call of Duty with the classic open mic stuff. I still find it pretty funny. Kids just I don't know, but
we had a good end game. Were you in that game, Jake?
Which
Yes, he
one?
was.
I think we pulled second place
Second
last
place.
Yeah,
night.
the second
Yeah.
place game.
And it was
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, because Jonah started shit talking back last night at the end of a Warzone game.
Well, we were being graceful losers. We get into like the end credits or whatever, and these dudes are just screaming like at us or whatever after they beat us, and we're like, it's okay, and except for
Alex
Jonah.
hit him with the GG, question mark,
yeah.
just like trying to throw it out there, like, good sportsmanship type of thing. They start going off, calling us names and everything like that. And, I'm not going to let stand there and let us take it to the face like that. You know what I mean? Like, second
you.
is first loser, but I'm not going to let that slide. So we came off with a little bit of a shit talk back on that one to let them know that we'll get them next time.
So jumping forward to modern Call of Duty, I hate battle royales.
All of them.
We'll get to that once I get to the
All
current
right.
gaming.
We're gonna take a very
Like I said,
This is a linear story.
Yeah.
No
Say a
jumping
linear
ahead.
story.
We'll get there when we get there,
so
Jake.
I play Call of Duty, and then as soon as I get to pretty much, I played and bought games. I think my favorite game as a childhood was probably The Last of Us, also because the main character's name is Joe and my name is Joel.
It wasn't cinematic. It wasn't a groundbreaking game.
No, it
His
was.
name's Joel.
No,
Well,
I'm
that's
just
the
saying
name.
it was an addition to. But yeah, I love that. I love the story. It was good.
So Modern Warfare 3, that's not your earliest gaming memory though, right? Like you had to have played.
You started as a teenager.
I think I played my earliest. I think might have been on PS2, maybe not even PS2. I mean, even going back. Oh, this is
Take us
a really
all the
short,
way back.
funny story. But I used to have a Game Boy Color, and I used to have headphones hooked up to it, and I was just like total klutz. I used to break a lot of things. So I used to have headphones plugged up to it, and then I'd be on the bed, and I want to go somewhere else, and then I'd have the headphones still plugged up, and then I'd walk away, and then drag the Game Boy Color, and it would just fall on the floor, and it was just like. I did that so many times, but those things were pretty, indestructible back in the day, so it didn't really matter.
So
But,
you didn't have a console-based household at all?
we did PlayStation only household until I guess college, honestly.
And that's PS2, not PS1.
We had all three, but
Oh, you had PS1 too.
I don't remember. All I remember from back in those days was trying to hook up the
The
PS2.
red, white, and yellow cables.
I didn't even do that because my brother did all that stuff. I just remember it was just such a pain
Brother.
trying to hook it up to the internet. Like you have to get the adapter.
You're the younger
And-
brother.
Yes, my brother is 3 years older than me, and I'm currently 21. He turns 25 next month.
So, at what point do you become the more tech savvy brother? Because I'm waiting for Jonah to take over.
I think
a
in
long
some it's kind of like we're similar, but in like some aspects I know certain stuff, in some aspect he does stuff. He's kind of like you. He used to do professional photography. Like he used to shoot weddings and all the other stuff, and then he stopped. And then I think he's starting to get back into photography now. But he used to be the only person in our house, not even our household, like the family, who just was, people just asked him like, "Hey, my iPhone or this and that doesn't work. I need help or
This
something."
DVD player will not function.
You're the
I mean,
oldest young
this-
person I know. Help me.
See, and then I don't know. I feel like this is just kind of like the stereotype, but it's true. Like
It's true.
when
I
after
went
my
through it.
brother moved out, it's just like they all come to me now, and it's just like it's like, oh, what do you do on Facebook and how,
Wait,
I'm like,
what do
I
you
don't-
what do
I
you do on
have a-
Facebook, or what do people in general
like
do on Facebook?
they're
Tell
ask,
me
like
about
someone
your
will ask me a question
habits.
in my family like such and such on Facebook or something. How do I do this or this and it's not working? I'm just like I don't even use social media like that, or at least personal social media. I do stuff for the club and other things, but that's like a very basic level. And like I don't post anything. And then the questions they ask is just like, it's Facebook. I just have it because other people have it.
This
It's
is the
not
therapy part of the podcast. It's like I don't even have Facebook.
Were
They keep asking me.
were you and your brother like competitive when you played games together growing up? I'm trying to think of a PS2 game that was like.
I mean, the earliest games I can remember playing with them maybe Ratchet and Clank. I don't know which one, but later on, a little bit, like I said, linear story. I had a bit of a story in high school, but yeah, my brother used to be like, the super tech savvy one. And then, once I got older, I learned pretty much all this stuff. I feel like a lot of tech, like you can Google anything. I feel like the older generation just doesn't know, like, you can Google anything.
You have that question? Try writing it down into this product.
I mean, when I first got to LTU, and I was talking to people in the computer science major, and they're like, yeah, once you graduate LTU, you're going to also get a bachelor's degree in Googling things. And they're like, even like people like in the professional game design industry, you're like, yeah, you're just going to Google stuff. And it's just like, that's just how it's professionally done. Like, oh, you don't know this? Let me just Google it. I mean, that's just the day and age of how it is.
Somebody somewhere has answered that question.
And it's also going to the school thing. Like when you're doing a project, like how does like what is it called? Plagiarism. You can't really plagiarize code, right? I mean, like it's an interesting conversation.
I
but
wouldn't know.
like if you look up how to do something and the code's already done,
Just use that code.
I know. And then it's like if you understand how to do it or whatever, like I don't know. It's very weird. But going back to my childhood, I had a PS1, I had a PS2, I had a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, all that stuff. All right, and then we got to.
But you don't remember any of the games for these things.
I had like GTA San Andreas. Like, I didn't.
Do you remember
I
the
didn't, I
hot
didn't really
coffee
pl-
mod?
I didn't really.
Did that ever come up in your house?
No,
No? Do you know what I'm talking about?
no, I don't.
What is
Oh.
the hot coffee? I am
The
familiar.
hot coffee mod is the infamous. I don't know if it was a cheat code or a glitch or something hidden in the game exactly because it's been a while since 2004. But basically, you could take a hooker back to your apartment and then have a sex mini game where if you hit X, you could thrust on the beat with them. And it came out and there was like full nudity and stuff, and it was in every Game Informer.
This is
IGN.
why I was surprised the age demographic that comes in here and asks if we have GTA. I'm like,
Because you think
you're
of that,
not
don't you?
allowed. Yeah, exactly. I'm
you
like,
think of hot coffee.
I'm like, no. This was like taboo, banned from America. Like, and now you're 9
Your
years
mom
old.
would not let you have that.
I mean, like when I was younger, I mean, like my parents were always just like, they didn't really care, but like my grandparents were like really the ones like, oh, you can't be playing Call of Duty. I mean, GTA. They knew like I play like GTA, back then. Not that I really played it, but I think San Andreas was really fun, especially with all the cheat codes. It was pretty fun. But yeah, I think
L1, R1,
like
L2,
the
R2.
world back, 10, 15 years ago to now, like it's a lot. Like you like I just remember like my parents and grandparents being like, yeah, you used to not be able to say "but" or like anything on the radio, and now you can curse on the radio, and it's just like I don't know.
Doesn't that have
say
10 o'clock
ass.
PM?
And then like gory game, M-rated games. People are playing M-rated games when they're in like elementary or like middle school. I'm just like, the world like kind of doesn't care. It's kind of like the younger generation is more mature.
Well, I think there's like a
Ish.
shift in like how people think of it, right? Because we talk about this game is M rated, this game is T rated, and that was all a reaction, right? Even the concept of a rating system like that was a reaction to like a panic over, let's be clear, Mortal Kombat, a game that does not look real and is not fooling anybody with its graphics and violence and stuff. It's like a little pixelated spine comes out. It's like conceptually dangerous, but in practice not. So
Now it's kind of gross.
now, okay, what's funny is now I think you'd have all these reasons to, but because, I think over time there's desensitization.
Yeah, that's what I was looking to say. Desensitization.
But also, I mean, like a little bit of a more sober analysis of like, are kids going to go outside and rip their front and spine out? The panic has subsided a little bit.
You gotta try.
So
You gotta
Do
try Dragon
anything
Ball
you
Z.
set your
Don't-
mind to.
Play Dragon Ball Z. Don't play Mortal Kombat.
So going from PS2 to PS3, this is where the story gets interesting. So we ended up getting a console. Me and my brother were supposed to play it equally. Kind of
Put the air quotes on
whatever.
that.
Scare quotes.
I don't even follow consoles anymore because the PS5 is out now.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so we both had a we had one PS3 at the beginning, and then I wanted my own console because my brother was kind of stingy.
It's a big ass. He's a jerk.
Foreshadowing, a common theme that happens
Who
here.
bought it?
Yeah,
It
where'd it
was our
come from?
parents.
Okay.
We got it for I think Christmas. I think.
That's different. You didn't like pool your money together, and then Jonah only owns 10%.
Foreshadowing.
Okay.
But he had one, and then we had one, and then it was like one of those old fat PS3s.
We got one sitting over.
Yeah, I played it whenever I could. But I like even though I'm in esports, I didn't play that many video games as a kid. Like I played Call of Duty, but I was in Boy Scouts and went outside. I don't
Ooh, touching grass is lame.
know. Yeah.
Could get hurt out there.
So
Yeah, you
fast
poke your eye
forward
out.
into high school early. So PS4 just came out or whatever, and it was like at this time I had my own. I had the PlayStation Slim. Like I got it. I didn't even take the plastic off of right where the CD holder was. Like it was just brand new. It just sat there. It had no scratch. It was perfect. And then my brother was like, "Hey, let's sell our PS3s and get a PS4, the new gen." I'm just like, I don't really care about that because I had my PlayStation. I was playing Call of Duty. I had The Last of Us. I didn't really care about what's in it. I can still play those games or whatever on my console. And I'm in my head, I'm like, yeah, if we get that, it's gonna go back to when we only had one console. I'm never gonna be able to
Damn,
play it.
been burned.
So, anyways, he kept bugging me this went on for a few months, and I just he just kept bugging me. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So, his Gen 1 PlayStation, and we trade them in the GameStop, and we all know trading things in the GameStop is a terrible idea. But we ended up doing that, and he got I don't know, $60 to $80 or some half or whatever amount for my PlayStation Slim, and I think we traded in all of our games too. Yeah. So I think, and then it was just
You gave it all
and he's
up.
like, yeah, this is gonna be our PlayStation 4 or whatever. So we ended up getting the PlayStation 4. We both played it for a bit, and just I don't know. Over time, we just this is my PS4. I paid for it. And I'm just I traded in my PS3 for this. It should be ours. Honestly, it should be more mine because I traded in my more valuable PlayStation Slim, which was in pristine condition, to get this. So then I
you
pretty
did
much
own it more. You're right about that. You had an in on it.
And then I was just you know what? I don't even care anymore. And then I just stopped playing. I just stopped playing console games. And then
So you let him win.
yeah. And
Shit.
this is kind
Never
of the
give any
start
ground.
of my PC gaming career.
I'm trying to think of what was out on PlayStation 4 when it first came out. The only thing that comes to mind is Metal Gear.
Now you've got a friend.
Me too. There's like a bunch of stuff now. I think of like Red Dead and God of War, but I don't think those were out, right?
Yeah, not upon release.
And that's also why I don't follow consoles anymore. Like any. Honestly, I'd be a lot more to branch out to other stuff when I was younger. If I had a console, like, oh look, this is new, this looks fun, let me get this. But hey, I don't have a console to play on anymore. Why would I even get this? So I think, we always had like a laptop in the family. So classic teenager. Started on Minecraft. And then I played a little bit
You
of...
say classic teenager, but boy, am I older than you if you started on Minecraft.
I thought we were talking about porn for a second. So you know me.
We had a family laptop.
Kind of became my laptop after a while. People stopped asking to borrow it. I stopped offering.
So you started on Minecraft, and I guess like that's my big meta thing is I think what's interesting is I feel like that PC gaming used to be exclusively like old dudes playing Unreal Tournament. By the way, we just got Unreal Tournament, so if you like that, come in
It
and play
looks
it.
so fucking
Joel
cool.
really worked that sales pitch in.
Yeah.
He
But
always does.
what I think is amazing now is that all these the younger kids who are coming in to replay now are all pretty familiar with like PC keyboard setup and everything like that. They're doing like, the 30-degree angles so they have better reach and everything like that. And watching these kids play Fortnite, I think we've talked about that before, like watching like just like the fast twitch has kind of been incredible. What kind of got you hooked on PC, or like what did you see one day when you were like, oh, I should start playing PC games instead of console stuff?
Or were you just chased out of consoles with pitchforks and torches?
Yeah,
by
that's
your brother?
kind of it. Like,
Well,
I
like,
didn't
how'd
have
you
a
find it?
console, so I went to, how else am I going to play video games, right? I went to PC, and I played a bit of Minecraft, and then I had a friend down the street. Like, I haven't talked to him in, like, years, and his family
Let's
still
get him on
lives.
the pod.
Joel's
His family still
Old
lives down
friend.
the street, so he might have been the one to give me the Minecraft, but 100%. I still play this game today. I was playing it last night. World of Warcraft, my favorite.
Nice.
I think it's honestly.
Now it feels like classic teenager to me.
It's
my
tied with
teenage.
League. Honestly, those are my two favorite games. So I play World, and on it like we had like a very bad laptop. I used to play on like 20 to 15 FPS and over Wi-Fi with terrible internet. But I loved the game, so I just played it, and that was my teenage year career of games. And I just played League and World of Warcraft all the way through high school.
How did you find League? Like what kind of sparked that?
So I was playing WoW one day, and then I had a friend who I met. One of those things. Oh, I met someone online. They're cool, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go play League with my friend. And I'm like, what's League? I'm like, it's this. I'm like, I guess. So we're not gonna play WoW. And then I went to play it, and I completely hated it because I was in the MMO RPG. I'm building up my character, and then we get into a game of League, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, I guess I've never played a MOBA before. And then after the game, I'm like, all right, time to get back into it. And we get into the game, I'm like, wait, what happened to all my items and stuff I have from the previous game? And then I don't know. Over time, I just like played it more and more and more.
StarCraft was never on your radar?
Nope. I didn't start playing StarCraft until I think last year, maybe a year and a half ago.
This is my dumb question. I've never played StarCraft. Does it share like commonalities with League at all?
League came from
World of Warcraft, right? It was like Dota.
Warcraft 3. And I
That's
think
what it's like?
Well, no.
No.
Well,
'Cause I've seen people who play Warcraft
it was like
3.
Dota 2, right? Was kind of the
Dota
inception.
2, yeah. These MOBA style was sort of almost a mod of
Yeah.
you could choose like the heroes or whatever as in Warcraft 3. But Warcraft 3 is basically based on the RTS style of like Age of Empires and StarCraft.
Right, which is how I remember it from like I was 7. But real quick, even worse gamer question. I've never heard anyone say out loud to me what a MOBA stands for. And I see the word all the day when I'm here.
it's a
like,
massive online battle arena.
oh, whatever. That doesn't describe anything. All games are MOBAs.
I had to think about it too. I'm like, I said MOBA, but like, what does that actually mean? But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But yeah, high school. I mean, that's me to this day. I mean, I bought a Switch a few years back, but and I ended up like playing it a bit, and then I just like I sit there collecting dust. And then my brother was like, "Hey, can I use your Switch?"
Your brother character is great.
But at this time, I didn't even care because I had a desktop at this time. So
You should have told him he would have to trade in 2 PlayStation 3s to get your Switch
yeah, I should
and
have
all
said
the
that.
games.
Two Wii's or something
We still
like
had
that.
the PS4 at this time.
Wii U's.
And then, so I was, this is kind of going back. I still was on the laptop Minecraft thing, kind of wow. And then we still had the PS4. Well, he had the PS4. And then ended up selling it to, guess what? Build a gaming desktop. And I was just like, oh, so what happened to all the money I put into it with my, like I kind of went back to it and I'm just like, what happened to all the money I put in?
I think you owe me about, I don't know, 1 power supply.
I imagine your brother showing up on your doorstep, like clutching a blanket, a tattered blanket, and be like, "Can I have a Switch or whatever?" Like the way you paying him and stuff. He's like, "I think I'm gonna do a computer now. It's a new idea I've had, just my own idea. I'm doing it."
Yeah, but I mean, he had fancy desktop and whatever. And I'm just sitting here with a crappy laptop and it has a integrated graphics card.
In his defense, like he's a photo editor.
Well, he wasn't. I guess he was doing photos. He was doing it back in
I'm
high
sure
school.
he justified it. Let me tell you, I've been preaching, this one's for Drip. I've been preaching writing off every single technological expense at your disposal because you're an esports broadcaster, which means you have to do research, which means you have to play the game, which means these are business expenses. Which means if you are buying a computer and if you're buying skins and if you're buying whatever, these are business expenses. These are tax deductible things.
Mm-hmm.
America loves business. Just follow these loopholes. You guys are gonna get rich.
They put
Joel
them there for
LLC.
you. Joel
I could go
Incorporated.
on and on about the LLC filing.
That would be interesting. We should talk about that later. Maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know.
Nobody
Joel,
else
continue.
cares.
What was I talking
Oh,
about?
shut the fuck up.
When did you ever end up doing like building your own rig? I was kind of curious. So like when
So-
Yeah,
you
you're not still on an integrated laptop.
yeah.
Yeah, you seen all the stuff I do? I'm still on that.
It's actually that one right there.
Yeah.
you pointed to a
Actually,
lot
I
of
think that
rinky
one's
dinks.
probably better than what I had, honestly.
No way,
I
this
don't
one-
even know what that is, but it was probably still better.
That's got the sticker for Windows 7, and it's running Windows 10. And it's
Okay, it might be slightly worse.
if this thing, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing had an exhaust pipe or something. It just shot black smoke.
It
I
ran
mean, that
on
was kind
diesel.
of the thing of too. I just remember playing Minecraft or whatever, and then you could just feel the heat coming out of this computer.
yeah.
It was working so hard to play base Minecraft.
We used to do our homework on a laptop like that, and like what you're talking about. And I used to like sit with a blanket on my lap, and eventually I'd pick it up, and the blanket would be like smoking hot, or like the dust would
We
start
fried
to like.
the fans.
We fried the fans with the dust
There
in the
was
blanket.
like a whole wave of people who were like burning their crotches and like the backlash of that much heat around your genitals. Like
I remember I actually used to put it like ahead of me because I was I was 16 and did not want
burn
to.
the top of your legs and then you had to
Kneecap
move
myself.
it to burn your knees and then you had to move it back.
No, I had that issue.
Mountain Dew your balls.
Reminds me of a story of a friend. This is even recently. I mean, he's like an adult.
He's burned his genitals.
This episode's
No,
called
he-
Trauma.
He was. I was like, why don't you play League anymore or whatever? And he's like, yeah, I don't have a computer because I put my blanket over the exhaust fan and then it stopped working. I'm just like, yeah, I wonder why it stopped working, huh?
You
Just
needed
fried
a-
the inside.
Yeah.
You needed a blanket with some holes in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Cole's shirt.
laptop blanket.
Like holes.
That's our idea. Don't steal that.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
because
Love this.
I was thinking
Wait, do you
about
want to
this.
switch couches?
I think the warm seat is still doing me good because it's in the sunlight.
Oh, cool. Stay where you are.
But so in high school, I had all friends, whatever. And then after I graduated, I only talked to one person from high school. Do you guys still talk to people you went to high school with?
This episode's called Trauma.
I'm talking about like I'm talking about like you talk to to these people maybe at least probably once a week.
Once a week to a person from high school. Yes, I live with someone from high school, actually.
My closest friends are like my ride or dies. It's like that difference of like at this point, I don't have to talk to them once a week, but they are probably still my closest friends. And I keep in contact at least once a week or like once every 2 weeks. I have a few friends who come down and like they're big gamers and like build their own rigs and everything like that. And they've come down a few times and they support it. Shout out Brandon, shout out Eric, friend of the podcast. Hope you guys are listening. Cody as well, you as well. He runs our unofficial Reddit page.
Official Reddit page.
If you want to go and look that
I
out.
haven't looked at our unofficial Reddit
I
page
haven't
in a
looked in a
while.
while.
I
No.
should look at it soon.
So, yeah,
I
I'd say-
talked to basically all of my high school friends. too.
Alex somehow became friends with the most handy and like multi-talented group of like guys who build stages and do cartwheels and can
Well,
play
I
the
didn't
piano.
know Nico in high school, but
Friends of
indirectly
brothers,
I knew
yeah.
Nico through Timmy, who
Thank
I
you,
know
Timmy.
through Dean, and
Yeah.
I don't like I said. I know that one person, and I was just thinking, I'm like, he's my oldest friend that I know because I don't talk to anyone from my childhood. I don't talk to anyone from anywhere, and like he is
Well,
the
you're
oldest.
better than them now.
this is breaking my heart.
Yeah.
Like
No, no,
you
no.
said, this is trauma.
No. I think this is not actually bad. I think it's in the same way you should go to college and break up with your high school girlfriend. Like sometimes you got to break up with your high school friends.
And get back together with them.
Only if they get.
I love my girlfriend.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking
There's
about
some
you.
inside baseball there.
I did forgot you.
James, who is one of the owners here, I've known since elementary school.
Yeah.
My first memory of James was running in gym class, and he's probably going to listen to this, but running in gym class, and he would blow into my ear. And it was the most annoying shit.
But then he'd slip $5 in your pocket and slap you on the ass and say, "Go get him, Alex."
That sounds annoying.
Yeah.
You can buy a lot with $5.
Fucking James.
Well, that's how friends become friends, you know?
My friends are actually my high school friends were the ones who showed me. Like I remember it was like the summer, and they bring me and show me this trailer for this game that does look like Warcraft. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I don't really, I've fallen out with games a bit because they obsessively played Smash to the point where I like was poisoned, couldn't do it, didn't want to be in the room with it. And then they showed me that, and I was like, that looks cool. And then they showed me the actual game.
Yeah.
And I said, hard pass. And I didn't play games for like 3 years
The
afterwards.
cinematics used to be so much better than the game that it was like such a fall flat to play the game.
Well, then
I mean,
they showed
that's
me the
still
game, and it was
true
like clicking,
today.
and I was like,
Honestly,
pass.
some cinematics are cool, and then you play the game, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is terrible.
It seems like they're actually compensating for it, like in a way that's obvious. You know what I mean? A little bit.
What's it called? Press square. And then you lift, just keep pressing square, and that's like the gameplay when some of these cinematic things.
well, no,
start with
like
that,
a
or-
true like cinematic trailer. The first League trailers were like they looked like a World of Warcraft movie. Like and
Raid
then-
Shadow Legends.
What's that? Is that a game only you know?
No.
Wait, do you not know what
You're
that
not
is?
about Raid. You don't know about Raid Shadow Legends.
What is
You've
Rage?
never been on YouTube before.
It's not even.
I just
It's
watched
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
I just
Yeah.
watched those videos that say like 70,000 hours of Halo look like this, and then the guy gets a
Oh,
perfection.
Raid Shadow. It's not an old game. It's everyone. It's honestly it's just a sponsorship company. I have this game. I heard it's like not even like good or anything, but they just like they try to get their name out there so much that they just like they sponsor like everyone. You hear, oh, this is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends or whatever, and it's just like it's a meme at this point.
Do you know anyone who has played Raid Shadow Legends?
Nope.
No. Where are they getting this money? Is it just like 10-year-olds with their parents'
Well, I
credit cards
think-
who buying like skins and pay to win stuff?
Because I did research on this, because I I did reach out to the CEO of Raid Shadow Legends for a sponsorship
Straight
for
to the
LTU.
top.
Yeah, I did. He replied to me.
I'm not surprised.
Probably because
actually.
it's some kid in his basement who just like, I can't believe this is working.
I mean, no, I
Finally.
messaged him on LinkedIn, and I was just like, hey. But when I was doing research, their studio is the biggest game developing studio in that part of the world.
What part of the world is that?
I think it
My
was
butt?
India or something over there.
Dubai, maybe.
I take it back.
Some area over there, and I think it's not the biggest. It's the biggest mobile. I think mobile games
Yeah.
are like huge over there.
Okay.
And because they have
dark
like,
money.
I think they
Foreign
do
dark
some
money.
other mobile games that are like popular as well. But I reached out to them and then sent them our sponsorship package or whatever, and they replied, "I don't think this is for us." And then that
Like
was
he
it.
thought you accidentally sent him the email. Hello, Joel. I believe you've incorrectly thought of me.
But yeah, I guess I could talk about gaming in college now.
Well, it sounds like you only play League of Legends.
Well, I mean, this is kind of building up to my esports thing. I've never played World of Warcraft and League at the same time. Because whatever I play,
Computer can't handle it.
You can't do heroin and crack at the same time. It'll be a weird time.
Yeah, you can't. It's called speedball.
You know, as I said that I knew that, but I was whatever.
But yeah, I've never played them at the same time because whatever I do, I can't say League takes a lot of time investment because you could just play one game and be like, okay, I played one game. But like, it's kind of like that thing with like Minecraft or like Call of Duty. I went to school, I came home, I played League.
This is called an addiction, Joel.
Shh. I remember I was like, wow, this is crazy. I think, what is it? I used to get 1,000 IP a day. That was a lot. You had to play so much. I mean, when there still was IP, and I think what they have now is Blue Essence.
Oh, I was thinking you meant LP, and I was like, you get like at most 30 at a time. 1,000.
No,
would
IP.
be-
See, that's how long I've been playing the game.
Yeah.
Back when it was still IP. I mean, I guess people could be playing it longer, but I started playing at the end of season 4. But yeah, I never played so quick story about the current week's events. I recently got a character to max level in WoW, and to this day, I got it max level on last Friday.
Sweet.
And I already have almost 3 days of playtime.
That was okay. So that's what I was thinking. Now that your career path has gone, it's gaming, but it's also like computer science. Do you ever get sick of the fact that you're like constantly covering it as well as playing it? Do you ever have to take short breaks where you're like, I got to take a break from League because all I do is League?
Yeah, where's the line between business and pleasure
Yeah,
for you?
exactly.
It's both. I honestly never want to take a break from esports and all that. So the unfortunate situation I'm currently in is when I came to Lawrence Tech, I'm in the computer science game software development program, which is great. I love it. My favorite professor is Mars. If you guys haven't heard of him,
Yeah, we met him.
Yes, that's my favorite professor there. But the program's great, but I don't want to go into game design anymore. And I didn't realize this. Like, I don't want to go into a full career with this. I didn't realize that until last spring, before COVID was even a thought in people's head. And then
It was
it's
here,
like
though.
I'm progressing.
Or a
my
disease in their lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to anyone who's lost a family member due to COVID.
I even talked to
Excuse
Mars about this, and it's just like, I want to go into esports now. And I'm so far with my degree, I can't really switch to anything else because, one, I don't want to be in college for longer. That's more money, more debt, and then time. Like, none. I was just looking at it. Nothing is going to transfer over to anything that would be useful. So
When you say you want to go into esports, do you mean the broadcasting portion,
That's what I
or
was going to ask.
I was interesting to say that. I had a conversation with Candace
Friend of the podcast.
Wednesday. Yep.
Friend of
And-
everything.
Yeah.
He's great.
I was like, yeah, it's just like I want to do esports management, and what that means is I want to run the tournaments. I want to also, it's kind of like a director position because I want to help run the tournaments.
It's a PR kind of thing.
Yeah, I want to do like the social media. I want to reach out to the sponsors and all that kind of stuff. And I also want to do the media aspect as well. I want to learn and do some of the editing and learn how to do recordings and stuff like that. And it's just like my major deals with like none of that. So pretty much all the experience I've gained now has been through the club work I was doing and then the state champs work. And now I'm going to be getting experience. I was actually looking at a job on LinkedIn, not to apply for it, but one of the skills it said is sports coaching. I'll actually start experiencing that in the fall when I'm working with LTU's collegiate team.
The collegiate team only does league, right?
No. So we currently we're recruiting for League. Well, maybe not actively recruiting for all these titles, but we're doing League, Valorant, CSGO, Overwatch, Smash. I think we're even doing like Madden and NBA 2K if we can get any players for that. But we're doing all of the big titles and
We'll
everything.
try and send some your way. We see a ton of people play 2K here. It's recently free. We snapped up a bunch of copies, and we're looking
well,
to do
for
it.
his thing, it has to be at LTU, right?
Well, but I mean, like, players will come here. We're doing a 2K Tuesday, essentially, is the idea. And so if players come here and you're looking to recruit, oh, wait, do they have to be actively attending LTU?
Yes.
Well, just ask everyone if they're at LTU. I misunderstood the idea of the team.
As far as an esports manager, the role that you're describing, boy, are you talking to the right guys right now.
Oh, I'm glad we made eye contact a minute ago, and I was like, I hope that's what you're thinking, and it wasn't something completely different. I was agreeing. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it afterwards, but
Yeah, I live and breathe esports. I love it. I want to do it for a career, and it's fun to me. Like
Sounds
I
like
feel
you
like
found the romance. Like there's
it's
the romance
fun.
is not in the code. It's in the fucking like broadcast stream.
even
if
the energy,
it's
it's in
like
the competition.
I get excited when I talk to you guys, and we always talk about the possibility of doing something. I'm like, this is such a cool idea. I can't wait to actually do it. Which I can't wait to talk to you guys after this, because I know I messaged you guys last week.
Post pod.
Yeah, post pod conversation, but I just love it's fun. I love the East, the big like state. I love the outcome of all the hard work for like a tournament, and then
Gotta love the heartbake too.
I like when it's
There are
happening
winners and
and I
losers.
don't have to panic because it's clearly working.
well, I mean the panic isn't. It's kind of like I can't think of the word, but it's just like
the
even when
sour
things
that comes with the sweet.
even when things are going wrong. Even when things are going wrong, it's just like, for the most part, it's like, okay, such and such thing happened. All right, I know how to fix this. So I don't know. It's just this is just the enjoyment of working in the esports industry.
I usually fall back to the old. Well, the building's not on fire, so it could be worse.
That's me as well.
Well,
I'm
we've been
like,
forced back to that position.
When
Maybe
we
we could
had
advance beyond.
TO with our Halo tournament, the first one, that was probably the most stress I've been under here, and all I had to do was keep track of a score spreadsheet. And like I said,
and even that was wrong.
but like I said, I see where you're coming from. Like I don't play a whole lot of games. Halo's basically the only one I do. But like at the end of it, and we had a little bit of a
Kerfuffle.
There was romance. There was drama.
There was, but like that was like seeing that at the end was actually really exciting, and I hope that like no kerfuffles happen again. But like
these people care this much.
yeah, there's energy for just like a really like we just gotten our feet on the ground, and it's all the our regulars, and just kind of seeing like people
Yeah.
show up and really enjoy it, and like the competition aspect, like the true like sports nature of esports,
Well, and it's also like there's like genuine camaraderie. Like
Yeah.
we now have like we're talking about that Halo event. Like the people that came to that, I consider them my favorite customer group now, and we know them very well and are doing other things with them. Like, we'll talk about it later, but probably like YUB Reclaimer, who won the tournament. His name's Eric. He's working.
He goes YUBK.
What did I say?
YUB.
K. Well, he's working on a video series with us about like tips and stuff because the dude just like shreds when it comes to shooters. I watched him play Call of Duty last night. I watched his kill cam or whatever, and he's a monster. The point is, like,
I bested him a few times.
okay, but he's everyone always bests him a few times, but Eric is good. Like he's like patently
he's
good,
consistent.
and it shows like there you can have dudes who like melt down at the end of an event, or you can have people that become very close to you. And I mean, like that's I think the hangover of sports, right? Like that's what you want.
And when people, if you're a competitor or even you're a spectator, they don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. For us at
So you
State
need a
Champs,
behind the scenes cam.
it's so much work.
Shout out to Terrence.
Shout out to Taryn. Yeah, exactly.
There's we record a little segment and then we post it on social media, and then it's just the push to get teams, and then sometimes we don't normally. I mean, not normally. Sometimes we don't get the teams we're looking for. And then it's also, we got to create the rules. And then we got to have the structure. Like, all right, this people are going to play on these games or these days. The season is going to go this long. And then you got to coordinate because we want to stream and have casters for the games. And then we have to coordinate that. And it's sometimes can be a lot. But I think that's just the fun of the industry.
It's running a news organization.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And it's fun.
Yeah, like the image of like the detective's office where the blinds are half shut and you can see the dust and it's all sepia tone. Like I imagine you in a room with a pencil behind you, you're going over spreadsheets. Like, yeah, it's coming together. Like that's what you did,
I
man.
mean, sometimes it's like that. I mean,
See, exactly. Alex is laughing, but sometimes it's like that.
Sometimes I rent the office. This is a private detective.
But it's like cracking the code.
I mean, when I first started working at State Champs, we were running a tournament, and we had I think we had like 80 plus schools.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, we had
High schools?
80 plus high schools in our league tournament. We had, I think, 4 or 5 divisions. It was crazy. And this is kind of leading into the Riot conversation. I think you laughed when I first brought this up, but last spring, Riot came out with rules. It's just for league. So there's a max of 16 schools that you can have participate in a league tournament. Unless you know you're sponsored by Riot to run a larger tournament. So there's a 16 school limit. The tournament must start and end within 2 weeks. So you can't even have a league. Can't even run like a normal season. And then they said you can't even put like league, series, tournament, championship in the title when you're promoting your tournament.
Watch us.
Like it sucks.
Yeah.
And then the big thing, the second big thing, I think the two big things that limited us, because we kind of scaled down our thing, was the school thing sucked. But the big thing was the 2 weeks, because we usually ran our things for the majority of the spring semester. And then the big thing was the scholarship money. Each tournament is capped at $12,000, not even split per person for the entire tournament. And comparison that to what we did in 2020, because it wasn't fully in effect by Riot, we gave away, this top team would get around $40,000 to $50,000 in scholarships per player.
Wow.
How can they
mountain.
A, monitor this, and B,
That was my question.
do that?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's their game. I mean, like,
But like, if you're just hosting private lobbies,
Additionally,
but we posted on social media. So funny story is, this spring we were like,
be a good way to get in contact with Riot. Start breaking the rules.
yeah.
I mean, we were just doing our normal advertisement. We're gonna do a normal season, blah 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 blah. And then out of nowhere, the head guy for all the Scholastic stuff for Riot, his name is JT, I think Vandenbree or something. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, but he contacted me in Denver through an email. I was like, hey, I just happened to come across, your organization or whatever. And I just wanted to make sure you guys were following the rules and guidelines.
Are you about getting his name wrong? He sounds like a dick.
Hey, look, one day if I want to work for Riot, and hey, they might
Can't
No.
burn those bridges now.
But it's not his. It's not like he's making the rules, right? And,
Kinda being a cop,
he's just
though.
he's enforcing the company he works for's rules.
Yeah,
I
imagine
just don't understand what the benefit towards limiting the amount of participants and the duration.
I think it's all about money, because at the same time they posted those rules, they entered in a $1 million contract deal with Playversus. So the
Who's
only
that?
way
What
So
do
you
they
have
do?
to run it through that platform.
Yes, the only way to actually fully run a tournament, or actually you can't even run a tournament. The only way you can have high school students participate in a tournament is to do Playversus. And for one, I mean,
And it's not private, so you're kind of open to whoever joins that tournament.
exactly. And also, I've heard schools have to pay for that, and it's not cheap either. I think it's like over $1,000 a year or something like that for like some kind of tournament license. And it's like, what we do at State Champs, we do it free. We give like it's fun. Like something also, one of the high school coaches says, Stephen J. From Detroit Catholic Central. He was like, I love that my kids are playing other players from Michigan.
Yeah, we actually, I think, recently talked to Steven, right? Yeah.
But yeah, Riot's making some interesting decisions. But I mean,
They've gone mad with power.
Wait for the replay League of Legends Challenger Series with a C.
Series with a C. We'll find like some Greek word that is very similar to series, like
but this goes into
series
the
with an X instead of an S.
Xerxes.
Xerxes, 2 X's.
Xerxes, wasn't he like a guy? It doesn't matter.
Yes, that is. I'm pretty sure you're
It's
thinking
gonna-
of some kind of like content creator.
Oh no, I'm thinking
Xerxes is
of
like a Greek mythology or Roman.
No, but
I
that's
think he
also
was-
a content creator.
Perseus.
no, I'm thinking of the guy from the 300 movie who has the nose ring. Isn't that Xerxes?
It might be
Yeah,
Persian.
yeah. I think he's the Persian guy. He's Xerxes. But we'll just put like Xmas.
Poster makes itself.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, man. It's a rock and roll poster.
I just don't understand. Like,
300.
there's like there's like baseball tournaments everywhere. I did travel baseball when I was younger, and like MLB,
MLB
isn't
isn't
cracking
coming
down on every
But you
single.
see, it's
I know it's different
MLB
than
didn't
that.
create baseball though, right? They don't have any like ownership on it.
don't
Riot
like
Watch
Watch
their
rates.
lawyers say otherwise.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would love it if the MLB reached out to a little league team and was like, "I'm sorry, you have too many teams participating in your competition, and you're giving these kids too much money. We're giving them the money."
Yeah.
That's the thing with like Riot's done, but it's just like Riot. They created leagues, so they have ownership over what happens with their game, and it's just like I mean, it's kind of like
You know what happens? Some little fucking garage band gets together and they put together a little fucking race car that everyone loves and looks to root for. And 4 years down the line, that team is fucking gone. They've done other things. They're in other parts of the company. And Yuka takes over bloodsuckers. And you know what ideas they have? Shit ones. That's why this happens. That's my opinion.
and this
Lake of Legumes Xerxes.
That's
I got nothing on that.
you're still going
We're
back
playing
to the
League of
Xerxes.
Legends. What are you talking
League of
about?
Legends. Oh my god.
But
Championship series.
so for state champs, the next thing we're looking at is Valorant, which we should have some information coming up. on
That's
that.
more Riot.
It is. So I had to do research on their policies for this because we were probably going to do it regardless.
It sounds like having a bad girlfriend playing Riot games.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know.
Gotta go research her policies before I go out.
So Valorant doesn't have the same.
They do
restrictions?
they have the same. The only I think they're gonna change it because I think they're just trying to get Valorant out because it's a newer game. So the only
It's just
policy
an old
that
game with a new
really
skin.
the only game
Turns
that policy that really conflicts is or not really, but it's the scholarship. The scholarship amount is the same, or not even the scholarship. It just says total prize pool within 12. It's not even if we wanted, going back to the league, even if we wanted to run like 6 different league tournaments, they have a cap at a yearly prize pool of $100K.
What I don't understand, like, there's just no way, like, if I bring 12 people in here, or 12, it's 6, is it not 6 on 6, it's 5 on 5.
5-on-5.
If I bring 10 people in here, and they scrimmage each other,
Mm-hmm.
and I write down who won,
I mean, that is. I think the thing.
And then give
So
money
when
at
we
the end
were-
of it
When
how
we
the
were
fuck are you gonna know, Riot?
so
because we said it on our podcast.
what
We
JT
gotta go
said
dark.
when we were talking to him, what it sounded like was Riot really doesn't care that much. It's all about their PR because there was a
host the
ruling
worst
where
tournament
like
in the world.
you can't have what is it called in like sports? You can't have like a
Steroids?
I mean
Certain sports.
I feel like but you can't have what is it? Like qualifiers. You can't have one tournament lead into another. So you can't have
That's how all animes taught me that tournaments work. So how do you do it?
well, like
You
it's
can't
just
just
Riot's
like
rule.
lie and be like, "This is only a 2-week tournament," and then start another tournament next week and keep the scores and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
you
build
cannot
off
do
it.
that. But he said
How?
that if you wanted to like it was very highly inferred kind of ish that if you wanted to run a tournament and then say, hey, we're gonna take the top team, or not even the top. You can't say you're taking the top teams. Say you want to take teams of your choice to run in this one tournament. You can.
My favorite teams, they happen to be the best teams.
I
I mean,
hate
technically,
losers.
I know how to pick
And
'em.
then he said it's the way he inferred it. It's all about like how you promote your tournament. Because you can like get around some of the like even like the naming conventions and the formatting. He was like, yeah, you can still do some of the stuff you normally do, like the 2 weeks, just run like back-to-back tournaments, which we did, which weren't very successful because teams didn't want to have to keep 2-week tournament championships, 2-week tournament champions. You can't even say championship, 2-week tournament, and then like
Finals?
I can't even say final.
Head-to-head
Business
winner.
speak.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's if you look at it, the rules on it, they're just like you can't say championship,
I promise
you
I
can't say
won't look at
grand
it.
finals, you can't say like any of these things,
You guys,
and it's
you
just
guys know the
like
game Taboo, where they press the little button or whatever and you say a word. Bah! Championship.
Championship.
But yeah, it's pretty much all optics. From what it sounded like he said,
What's with anything? They just
It
really want
sounded
to, like I was
like
saying,
he said.
I think I
business
just
speaking
came
you
up with
out of
our
having
next
fun.
viral campaign is
What's it
when
called?
we battle Riot over how our League of Legends games run.
Well, I think it's
Win a free
different at
computer.
college. I think it's only for high school. So if you're in a high school tournament,
All right, bring out the high school kids. We need to use you as pawns in our game.
We're just like bad parents.
Riot, I have less than 500 followers on Twitter. Come shut me down.
that reminds me. I was looking up Twitter.
Deplatform Alex.
Are you guys? Do you guys have a Twitter?
Yeah.
Yes,
Shush.
we do.
Of course we do.
I couldn't find it. I was looking.
Did you try typing the words replay and cafe
Yes.
in order?
Yes.
Did you try using the word Detroit?
No.
That's probably why. I can't imagine typing replay cafe and us not coming up, though. I'll have to see it with my own eyes.
But yeah, that's pretty much my gaming career from Game Boy Color to PC Master Race.
Well, I don't even think you named a Game Boy Color game when you were talking.
Yeah, because
about
I
it.
don't remember any of them. I
He
played.
said that before, yeah.
I know I had one. I don't remember what I played on it.
Not
play and
even
you just broke 'em.
Pokemon?
I mean, I had a DS back in elementary school.
Nintendo dogs.
So old.
How old are you?
30.
Yeah,
30,
I
30.
still think of my head like the DS is still like, oh, the interesting new concept. even though I was 10 when it came out, I was like, all right, let's see how this goes.
I went from it's all those things I don't remember. I have a
Question
very
for you.
bad long-term memory.
You said you played Minecraft, and something that's interesting to me about Minecraft is how will I structure this? Will people be playing Minecraft in 10 years?
Yes.
I think so too. I think that's a game because of how it was made is got like infinite longevity. It will not even be like a curiosity piece, like even like we brought back Unreal Tournament. I think that the way they made that game look makes it like future proof,
Timeless.
timeless. Yeah.
Because I'm younger than you guys. What is a Unreal Tournament?
This episode is not brought to you by SpaghettiOs. SpaghettiOs.
Like when you say Unreal, I'm thinking of like